This is the second review in the first part of the workbook for A Course in Miracles. Uh, it's saying here now that we're ready for another review. In this review, and it'll take 10 days, we're going to go through two lessons. We're going to have two lessons each day to review, one in the morning and one in the evening. But the basic practice here is inkling what the purpose of the workbook is and what we'll have accomplished once we've gone through the workbook. The idea is that when we're done with the workbook, that we've done enough work that we can really begin learning this course by having the Holy Spirit be our constant guide, uh, be the one who guides our perceptions and our thoughts, the the uh, inner thinker, inner seer, uh, for our true self, which is the light of the world, the holy child of God, the one creation of God, the Christ. So in this lesson, we're beginning to practice that, in that we focus on the thoughts for the day, the lessons of the day, try and get to that part of the mind, and then listen for a message, for guidance from the Holy Spirit inside of us. And the idea here is this workbook is written for everybody, but the practices are meant so each one of us learns to find that Holy Spirit inside them. So within these practice periods, we want to hear a message from the Holy Spirit. That's the idea here. We want to get some idea, something that's important to our learning. Um, so that's what we're trying to look at doing. So how do we go about that? Well, we're now ready for another review, and we'll begin our last where our last review left off and cover two ideas each day. The earlier part of the day will be devoted to one of these ideas, and the latter part of the day to the other. And we will have one longer exercise period and frequent shorter ones in which we practice each of them. So there's a longer practice period for one of the lessons, and then for the latter part of the day, a longer practice period with that one, and then shorter frequent reminders and responses to temptations. Frequent reminders of the idea, frequent reminders to be in that part of mind, the right mind that thinks with forgiveness, miracles with the Holy Spirit, and then responses to temptation. When we've lost our peace, we feel we're in conflict, that's when we want to apply these ideas. Okay, so the longer practice periods will follow this general form. Take about 15 minutes for each of them and begin thinking about the ideas for the day and the comments that are included in the assignments. Devote some 3 or 4 minutes to reading them over slowly, several times if you wish, and then close your eyes and listen. So we take this thought, which is the idea for the day, like I'm the light of the world, and the comments with that, related thoughts to that, and we bring our mind into the awareness of those ideas. Spend 3 or 4 minutes doing that, and then we listen. Close our eyes and listen. And if we're having trouble listening, then we want to repeat the first phase of the exercise period if you find your mind wandering, but try to spend the major part of the time listening quietly but attentively. There is a message waiting for you. Be confident that you will receive it. Remember that it belongs to you and that you want it. So those are the postures in the mind that we want to have as we're listening. Confidence. And reminding ourselves there's a message for me. It belongs to me. I want to hear what this message is. I want to hear the Holy Spirit inside of me speak to me. All right. So do not allow your intent to waver in the face of distracting thoughts. So this is dealing with the fact that we have a split mind. The ego is chattering away while we're trying to think about the thoughts the Holy Spirit has given us, right? So we don't want to let our intent waver in the face of those thoughts. We realize that whatever form those thoughts take, they have no meaning and they have no power. So this is the attitude to have. Realize this, that they don't have any meaning. Judgments that come up, uh, grievances that come up. We just want to look at those and say, that has no meaning, it has no power, and replace them with your determination to succeed. Do not forget that your will has power over all fantasies and dreams. Trust it to see you through and carry you beyond them all. So this is our truer self, and our truer self's will. We don't have to listen to grievances. We don't have to listen to conflict. We don't have to listen to the idle wishes. We can listen to that idea, that lesson. We can listen to that message that's waiting for us. We have a will over that. Those are the attitudes we want to have in our mind. And so, how do we think about these practice periods? Well, they're the dedications to the way, the truth, and the life. Now, that was the typical description of Jesus, right? I am the way and the truth and the life. But since the point of the Course is that we're equal to Jesus, that each of us are the light of the world, well, we're the way, the truth, and the life. That's who we are, and that's what we're dedicating ourselves to, that way, that truth, that life. And we refuse to be sidetracked into the opposites uh, uh, of life, thoughts of death. The opposite of truth is illusions, detours. We don't want to be pushed off and our mind wanders to somewhere else, to something else. We want to focus on these ideas. We want to focus on this listening. We want to be dedicated to salvation. We want to be determined each day not to leave our function unfulfilled. That's our function of being a miracle worker, of offering forgiveness to these situations, of being the light of the world. So those are the two longer practice periods. Twice a day we have a longer practice period, about 15 minutes. Take the idea of the day, read the comments, get focused on that, and then we're listening. That's the practice period. And like I said at the beginning, this is where we're meant to be left when we're done with the workbook, is that we know how to hear the Holy Spirit's voice. We're listening to the Holy Spirit guide us in everything that we think and everything that we do. So we're beginning that practice here. So in the shorter practice periods, use the original form of the idea for general applications and more specific forms when needed. Some of the specific forms are included in the comments which follow the statement of the ideas. These, however, are merely suggestions. It's not the particular words you use that matters. So whatever form those ideas take in our minds, we can put it into our own words, but we want to get in touch with these ideas. We want to clearly understand them, clearly hold them in our minds. That will focus us enough so we can hear these messages that are there for us. So that's the practice period for the next 10 days. So let's take a look at the first lesson. Like I said, there'll be two. So the first part of the day is I am the light of the world. How holy am I who have been given the function of lighting up the world? Let me be still before my holiness. In its calm light, let all my conflicts disappear. In its peace, let me remember who I am. Okay, so some of the specific forms for applying this idea: when special difficulties seem to arise, when the conflicts come in our lives, whichever going on, we can say, let me not obscure the light of the world in me. Let the light of the world shine through this appearance. This shadow will vanish before the light. So this is training us how to think. And we don't have to use these particular words, but we want to have the same concepts there. I'm dedicated to my function. I'm dedicated to learning salvation. Therefore, I'm the light of the world. That's what I want. I'm not going to thinking like that and applying it when we have conflicts, and then just thinking on a regular basis, those shorter practice periods, frequent reminders. So then the second part of the day is with the second lesson: forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. So it's through accepting my function that I will see the light in me, the function of forgiveness. And in this light will my function stand clear and perfectly unambiguous before my sight. My acceptance does not depend on my recognizing what my function is, for I do not yet understand forgiveness. Yet I will trust that in the light I will see it as it is. So this is acknowledging that we're learning. We don't know this. We don't have to pretend that we know it. That's what we're trying to do, right? My acceptance does not depend on my recognizing what my function is, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to learn this, trying to recognize it. Okay, so specific forms for using this idea might include: let this help me learn what forgiveness means. Let me not separate my function from my will. I will not use this for an alien purpose. So we're using the ideas here to get us back on our true purpose, get us back to what we really want. We really want this love, this experience of it, this ability to, through forgiveness, to experience that. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you.